Hello, friends. What's up, Rapunzel? What's going on? Yes, you scared me for a second. First of all, hi everyone. I'm Tom. Welcome to Dragon Mount. You scared me for a second when I saw this. I was like, was there an elect? How did I miss? What? You scared me for a second. Like I literally thought like I missed an election or some shit. Like scared me for a sec because, you know, politics is just crazy right now. Speaking of politics being crazy, perfect segue. And you know, I obviously our show is about watching TV shows and like Wheel of Time stuff and like general nerdery, but Kilmar Abrego Garcia got arrested again today after being brought back to the U.S. and with no charges and no crimes being committed while being followed by U.S. Marshals. So it's just there's a lot of craziness going on right now, and I feel like even if you have a small platform, you have a responsibility to like say something. So just want to say like, stop this shit and like get involved, look up local politicians and stuff, like start working for campaigns, do something, anything to help. If you can't, you know, not everyone can go to marches and protests and stuff like that, but you know, do what you can. Anyway, I don't like sitting here by myself and none of you guys like staring at my ugly mug. So let's class the place up a little bit and see who we got sitting backstage.
Look, here comes an awesome guest.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God! It was when you first joined. You were like leaned back just a little bit, and you were in a beam of sun.
Yeah, my blinds are just like at that awkward place right now. So
it was just perfect. It was perfect.
Also, I control the sun, but that's a whole other conversation.
That's a goddess conversation. We're not there yet. It's for later in the show.
It's true.
What's up? What's up, Arosa? Arosa! Sorry, I get excited. So how are you?
I'm good. It's the weather's actually going to be really nice this week here, and in Canada, that's a rarity. So I'm taking it.
That's fair. You know, as good as we could be without, you know, with the constant existential dread kind of just right here.
Yeah. You know, if you don't do the drugs, you got to drink and find other things to be happy about. So thanks, X-Men.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, like X-Men's a great I feel like example of that too. Yeah, I mean, usually violently, Rapunzel, usually violently.
Sadly.
Yeah. And I really feel like the writers of this new season stuff. So first of all, let's introduce everybody that might not know you to you. So what's, you know, your elevator pitch if you were to introduce yourself to our audience?
For me, I guess I'm just kind of a geeky girl who's been watching a lot of TV and movies my whole life. And I just created a YouTube channel a while back just to talk about that kind of stuff and enjoy myself and give, you know, my kind of thoughtful commentary on it. I might talk a little too much sometimes, but I appreciate those who stick through it. But yeah, that's me. I just really like, I like TV. I like movies. I'm particularly partial to like sci-fi and fantasy and things more in that genre, but I will watch kind of a plethora of things as long as it's interesting to me. With the exception of documentaries, I just can't really get into that. I'm like, real people bore me, but you know.
Same. I you know what? I mean, people are like, not only are people frustrating, most of them are boring. Most of the only documentary type movies that I get into are like the, you know, Hollywood movie versions of them. Like, you know, when they do Benedict Cumberbatch did what's the guy that was the code breaker in World War II, and it was biopics. That's what they call them.
Biopics are a lot more fun. Yes.
Yeah, I like those. But biographies are tough. And I got your link to your YouTubes in chat right now. The most recent stuff that you've been watching was mostly anime. And because I didn't see Dan to Dan at all, and when I went to be like, oh, what's she watching right now, I went and I was like, oh, and I watched a few episodes of that. I was like, it's pretty good.
It's surprisingly good.
Yeah.
I mean, I like anime in general, but typically animes that are female led, have that that sweet tinge of misogyny that's all over it. And this one, thankfully, it's like, oh wow, our lead female is actually just a badass, and she's not being like nerfed in any way so far, as far as her abilities and stuff. And the guys that are in there are not there to like make her, feel lesser. So I'm like, I'm enjoying that so far. There are definitely some parts where you're like, because it's still anime, but for the most part, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a ton of shows right now that I'm finding that I'm like, oh, I really want to watch this. So that's why it's kind of like, oh, I'll be in my anime bag for now. But it's September coming up, so I think some new shows will be hopefully rolling in soon too that are live action. But that's why I'm on the anime at the moment and
Fair.
Korean stuff.
Alan Turing. Yeah. Thanks, Summer Garden. That's the Benedict Cumberbatch movie we were just talking about. The other one though is Delicious in Dungeon, and I added that to our rewatch list to hopefully come around in like a poll in the near future, because I fucking love Delicious in Dungeon. If you haven't seen, and I think it's Netflix, right?
Netflix, yes.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Delicious in Dungeon on Netflix, it's fantastic. You should go watch it. Even if you just like vaguely like anything fantasy oriented, but like it's heavily influenced by like, video game, RPG, fantasy, D&D type stuff. It's really fun.
Yes.
It wouldn't be given away. Nah, because that's like the whole theme of the show. Basically,
It
the
really
idea
is.
is the food that they get is they're eating the monsters in the dungeon. Right?
Yes, that is the high level premise, and
Yeah.
I'd say it gets surprisingly layered as you go through.
Oh
it.
yeah.
That's why I feel like it's worth the watch, because the first couple episodes I was like, okay, it's a lot of focus on cooking, which if you're a foodie you'll love. Apparently, like a lot of people in my comments were like, I'm a foodie, I love this. I'm like,
Me too.
there you go. But as it goes on, there's actually really good like layered elements to the story. So
Yeah. All the characters get deep. They all have like a little bit of their backstories. The overall arc too of the season is pretty good. And then as you get into like toward the end of the season, you start to see little dabbles of like the world politics based around the idea of this like living dungeon and like adventures going to it and coming out with loot. And that's like an economy is being based on. It's really interesting. Really interesting. But that's not what we're talking about tonight. The only other thing I want to mention is I was thinking about doing a thing in the beginning of the show now, seeing like what are you watching right now, what am I watching right now, what is the audience watching, and then kind of before we go into start watching the show. So, what is a show that other than like Dan to Dan and Justice and Dungeons, like what's something that you're watching right now, just like for yourself that you're enjoying, either a rewatch or a new show, whatever.
for myself, I'm actually watching, two shows. They're both on Apple TV, because Apple TV shows are actually amazing. But they don't advertise ever. But Foundation, I've been watching that since season 1. That is a deep show though. Like I have to, that's why I didn't react to it, because I'm like, I really need to focus because there's a lot going on in that show. But yeah, I'm on season 3 of that, and Invasion just came back and I'm really enjoying. I like the first 2 seasons of that. So yeah, those are 2 that I'm kind of watching for myself. And I might, for the 3rd time, try to get into what's the one everyone's talking about? The one where you have Severance.
Severance, yes.
Heard good things, but for some reason I'm just having a hard time getting into it.
Same.
First time I watched this first episode twice, and I still haven't gotten into it.
Same thing. I tried to watch it when it first came out, and I was like, meh. And then I found out what the premise was, like, on social media. And then I was like, all right, maybe I'll give it another shot. I watched the first episode again. Just, I kind of forgot. Like, it's not that I even, like, disliked it or anything. It just, like you said, like, didn't grab me. Nah, yeah. Same. And actually, like 2 minutes before you brought up Foundation, Arosa also said that they're watching Foundation right now, too. So I gotta go finish watching that, too. On Apple TV, if you haven't seen Silo yet, have you seen
I've
Silo?
watched that. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I
I
love
haven't
Silo.
seen the second season, right? Second season's out, right?
It's done. Yeah, the whole thing's out. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen the second season yet, but I really, really like the first season.
I did too.
What am I watching right now? So the other thing that I'm watching right now is the new Dexter.
Which, right. It's like the prequel kind of idea.
It's been a little convoluted. So prior to the new creative team taking over like Universal, like when like bringing like the people that brought in James Gunn and all, and like are restarting a lot of the Universal and WB properties. The old team is the one that did the prequel series, which was decent.
Right.
But this new team is what started the new season of Dexter, where it's Dexter, and it takes place after the first reboot of the original Dexter. It's a little convoluted, okay?
Gotcha.
You had Dexter, which came out in like early 2000s. Spoiler alert, he's a serial killer. His name is the Bay Harbor Butcher. He kills other serial killers. That series ended, and people didn't like the way it ended. So they made a new series that takes place a couple of years after, and like Dexter is now fled Miami. He's living in upstate New York or something. And then that series ends with Dexter being thought dead. And then they did the prequel series, and now they're doing Dexter Resurrection, which takes place after, spoiler alert, he's not dead at the end of that series. And they're in Manhattan. His son is like coping with stuff, and Peter Dinklage is like a rich person that likes serial killers, and like he went out and found real active serial killers through like.
So still a Targaryen.
Yeah, I guess. And he has dinners with them and like makes them do show and tell with him. It's weird, but it's been fun. Yeah.
I've never watched the Dexter. So
it's, you know what it is? I like, and something I've learned about myself over the last, like over all of the years of watching videos on the internet, I like comeuppance videos. You know what I'm talking about? Like bullies getting comeuppance, or karma videos, like instant karma videos and shit like that.
Yes.
I love those.
Have you seen like shows that are about that at all?
Yeah, I was going to say like Dexter's kind of like that because he kills serial killers. So I think that's why I like it, but I don't know.
Do you ever watch K-dramas at all? K content?
Yeah.
Have you seen The Glory?
No.
It's on Netflix. You like comeuppance? That whole drama is about a girl who was severely bullied in high school, and she literally spends 15 years planning her revenge on her bullies because they're essentially untouchable.
I'm writing that down.
It's definitely worth the watch. But, you know, again, I'll put a little caveat out there. There's a lot of the stuff that she goes through is a lot to watch. So if you got sensitive viewers, then just be aware.
Warnings.
But yeah.
So what's it called? The Glory or Glory?
The Glory.
The Glory.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down.
Excellent K-drama.
Immediately. All right, yeah. So Dexter is the thing I'm watching. I think this new series, Dexter Resurrection, is actually pretty good. Like it took like a minute for the first episode. I was like, I don't know if I care about this at all, and then it started to cook, and now I'm like, I like this a lot. Like I feel like, as unbelievable as the character is, and as you know, it's a show. The way that they've done it, it doesn't feel like they jumped the shark. It feels like a natural progression for the character, and like to see the weird growth in a sociopath character that like, and I'm usually like put off by TV shows and movies where like they glorify the villains. You know, like I couldn't get into Breaking Bad because he was a drug dealer and he was a bad person, and like I couldn't, and like I didn't care about it, and a lot of those shows like that I never really like. But this one, he only kills serial killers, and he evolves as a person, which is weird, as a sociopath. So I don't know. I've enjoying it.
Which, I mean, I think that sounds good. And that's like, to me, I'm not mad at villains. If you tell me a villain story well, I'm invested, because even though villains are bad people, we're not supposed to like them, but it's short-sighted for us to think that they're not human beings and don't have a thought process that's probably very similar to ours, with the exception of a few major things, right? So I do like a story when they can show that, okay, yeah, what this person's doing is uncategorically bad, but here's the thinking, here's the emotion, and you can identify with those things and be like, okay, I understand why they got to that point. But most sane people, or people with a stronger moral code, would be like, I'm not going to do this because of that. So I like that. Like Netflix's Jessica Jones, for example, you know, the villain, right? David Tennant, like,
she's in this too, by the way. What's her name? Is Jessica Jones. She's in the new Dexter series.
Oh, is Ritter. Her name's something Ritter.
Yeah, something Ritter, yeah.
Yes, but like I liked in that one, I was like, the villain is kind of like awful, but like I felt sorry for the villain halfway through. I was like, wow, I get why he's this way, but I mean, he has to die still, but there's no other way. But you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get what you're saying, and that if Kristen, thank you. But yeah, like if you tell the story well, it can be intriguing. But like I think as long as they don't cross the line of like, I shouldn't be rooting for this person per se, but I think you can find them entertaining and still like relate to a degree because they're still human, believe it or not. Whether we want to be in the same pool or not, but yes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. The oh yeah, Aaron, it's when I said this too, there was when we went and saw this movie, I feel like obviously like just it was a shameless cash grab. It was slightly like I really feel like they pushed it out quick, but it was an entertaining movie and they didn't try to be apologetic with the villainous characters that they were portraying, and they never tried to redeem them. You still hate them through the whole movie, but it was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
So and like you never liked them. Like I never liked them. I was just like I couldn't wait to see what they were going to do next, like because it was just so they got progressively worse and worse as that movie went on.
Sorry, I'm only laughing.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was just saying, I went into that movie with very little expectations, and I was very surprised.
For real. I'm just laughing because I was thinking about a villain that I actually did like, but it was from the cheesiest movie ever. Like, did you ever see the movie Demolition Man?
Oh, fuck. Simon Phoenix? Oh, my God. Are you kidding? First of all, Wesley Snipes, almost anything that man does is just is gold. Right? But Simon Phoenix, man.
I was rooting for the villain the whole time. I was like, does he have to die, though?
For real. Oh my God. What's your boggle? Yeah. I fucking I know that movie by heart. I used to quote, me and my friends used to quote that movie all the time.
Right? So quotable. Murder, death,
oh my
kill.
God. Yeah. And fun fact about that movie, Wesley Snipes did all his own martial arts in that movie because, he's a huge martial artist.
Of course.
They made him slow down in the movie. He went throwing punches and kicks because he was going so fast that the camera couldn't pick it up and it looked fake in the way they were doing it. Yeah. So they had to ask him to slow down his punches and kicks and stuff like that, which was I thought kind of funny.
That is funny.
I don't actually, hold on. Glenn asked us something. Have we seen the Chronicles of Thomas Covenant? I don't recognize that. Is it a TV show or a movie or a book series?
Yeah, I've not heard of that. Oh, okay.
Okay, book series by Stephen Donaldson. No, I have not seen that before. Interesting. Oh my God, yeah. Have you seen What We Do in the Chat? You seen this?
No, I have not. It's been recommended to me though.
Fantastic. Yeah, he makes an appearance as Blade in an episode.
Because that's Taika Waititi, right? Who?
Yeah. Well, he wrote the original one, and then like they continued it. Like there was What We Do in the Shadow, I think, like movie that Taika Waititi did with the guy from Flight of the Conchords, the band Flight of the Conchords, for his name. And then they made a show with the two of them, like a 1-season show. And then like the one that everyone talks about that's been all over the media for years is the show that continues it. Like it's new vampires living instead of in Australia. I think they live in that one. They're living in Staten Island, which is it's fucking hilarious. I really enjoy it.
I should look because Taika makes me laugh. That guy's sense of humor is so wackadoo.
Oh God, what does he do? He's doing something like soon. Like he just got announced for doing something new soon, and I was like, what? They hired Taika Waititi for that? I was like, are they sure?
He's got a great mind. It's just a little twisted.
I don't know what it is.
Living in Australia for 5 years, though, Australians and New Zealanders, that's the way their brains work. It's just a little off.
They're just a little off crooked, left. Just all of them. That's why they're and see, now, I met you because you were, I forgot whose show you were on, and we were chatting, and I was like, I like this person's brain. I'm going to collect them and bring them onto my show. But you were a show watcher, TV show watcher only for the Wheel of Time.
Yes.
uh why did I bring that up? What did you just say? Fuck. There was a reason, because it was Wheel of Time
Australians
fans
being crazy.
Oh yeah, right. Because Wheel of Time fans would know. So in the Wheel of Time, it's so deep. Like Wheel of Time is really a post-apocalyptic science fiction series that is set in a fantasy setting. Like if you want to get deep, but the planet that is on is Earth, and the continents are just different because shit has happened. But and one of the old maps, I thought I had the book. I don't have the book behind me, but when they show the continents, there's like, you could see it's like where we are in the book series is mostly Europe for obvious reasons. Right. And then the US is the Shanshan. That's where the Shanshan live. And then you could see what would be Australia, and it's labeled the Isle of Madmen. So
Makes sense.
As Wheel of Time fans, we understand.
That makes sense. Yeah. Valid. Yeah.
So obviously, so I think at this point it's safe to say, you know, they dismantled, which Rapunzel pointed out to me, they dismantled the White Tower set. You know, at the end of the month, I think in a couple days, all of the actors' contracts will expire, and they'll probably start looking for new work. But I'm holding out hope that Apple TV will make an announcement, and we'll get, you know,
bigger and better.
Yeah, I hope, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
What were your feelings on the like on how season 3 ended and stuff like that, and overall?
I thought it was good. I mean, I was very like, it made me ready to see more. Like, I'm like, okay, so many things are starting to kick off. You know, my favorite girl, why'd her name just slip right out of my head? Nynaeve. You know, finally getting through that block. We get to see like what she's capable of, all this buildup, you know. Yeah, there's a lot of things like things were just starting to kick off, right? We had a lot that happened in the first 3 seasons, but this is now like we've had the groundwork laid. Now let's see it come to fruition. And yeah, that's why I still hope that they'll do it, because I do think that if it gets picked up, like if they can just pick up from that point, then it's going to really grab a lot of people, because it's going to be, you know, the groundwork's already laid. We can get into like the you know, the more the fun stuff. I mean, I found it all fun, but for some people who need a little bit more, you know, action and stuff, that's what was going to start kicking off. So yeah, I think they did a good job. I thought it was my favorite season overall. And yeah, I would like to see more.
One of the things that I will fight to the grave is that it was such a snub for like the Emmys for them not to even have like a costume nomination, because the costuming in that show was fucking
Hollywood and fantasy and horror. the eternal fight of the way they will, because even with Lord of the Rings, they waited till movie 3.
I know,
to finally acknowledge that movie. And it's because people were literally about to burn wherever they were having it down, because they were like, they were literally making real mithril. What are you talking about? Like real chainmail, and you don't want to give them an award.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just Hollywood. They don't like fantasy movies. It's all got to be either weird stuff made by a guy who's clearly not been sober for 30 years in his basement, or just something that's been done 100 times before. So I'm just like,
and usually some sort of travesty. Like if there's a Holocaust movie, it's that's for an Academy Award, or if it's, you know, something horrible, like
trauma,
personally some sort of trauma. Like then it's like, oh, that's a fucking Oscar movie.
Yeah, they don't recognize fantasy. They don't recognize movies that are based on superhero movies.
Yeah. Even. I don't even like giving them that label, superhero movies. Which reminds me, is one of the other things I'm watching right now is I no spoilers. I watched the first episode of Peacemaker. Fantastic.
People have been asking me, I don't know if I should, maybe I'll put as a poll on my channel if I should watch it, because I was like, I don't know what this is all about. John Cena, really? But
oh my God, dude. So first of all, John Cena, that man is an amazing actor. He's an amazing human. I didn't know. Like, I didn't know how many layers this dude has. Like we're going to find out at some point, like, that he's horrible, probably. But, like, everything we know about him right now seems, like, awesome. And he was in a movie with Idris Elba that just came out on streaming, Heads of State. again, movie I thought was going to be dumb, like, or at the very least, just like a cheesy action movie with like, holy shit, it was fucking hilarious. The two of them are absolute geniuses together on camera. Their charisma is hilarious. John Cena, like, leaning into his absurdness and like the absurdness of the American president, especially, and like, you know, what's going on. And he plays a celebrity president in it.
Nice. Well said, Glenn. Exactly. Idris is a very good actor. He actually can't do a bad performance, but I do think they could put him in a bad movie. But yeah, he can't do.
I mean, we all saw Dark Tower.
Yeah.
I only say that because I saw it because Idris Elba was in it, or I would not have watched it.
Me
That's
too.
the only reason I watched it.
The whole time I was like, just look at Idris. Just look at Idris.
Just look. He just smile. Look at him. Look at him. He's got those tight pants on with the hat and a gun. Like, we're good. I could just watch this.
Accent is accenting. Yes.
Yep.
Let's just keep that. Okay.
Oh man. Speaking of his accent, oh man. I went back and rewatched The Wire recently. And that first season of The Wire, he plays I forgot his Russell, something Russell is his last name. Terrible. Oh my God. His American accent, he breaks so much. Like, just going back and forth and like listening to him now, like even just on a talk show or whatever, and then going back and watching like the first season, you could hear him break. So he can't, there's certain words that he just can't say. I gotta get, maybe I'll make a clip. Go back.
Where did he say, where's this character supposed to be from in The Wire? What part of the States? Was it from like the north or the middle?
Baltimore.
He probably shouldn't have gone for South. All the Brits that Brit actors have said Southern accents are good because there's actually something to hold on to with the way you speak. But I feel like when you're just trying to, I call it neutralizing the accent, much harder.
Yeah. My normal accent is much more New York than like I commonly talk.
Are you like the one you see in the TV shows where it's like really Jersey, kind of like that?
Oh, settle down. Jersey? Oh, I gotta go take a shower. Like, what? Whoa. Take a break. I know you're from Canada. I won't hold it against you. I don't take it as a personal attack.
Jersey's right there.
Yeah, right there. And I'm over here now in New York, which is not Jersey. No, I'm just fucking around. I love my friends in Jersey, but no, I mean, like, it's a built-in thing. Jersey's got to hate New York. New York's got to hate Jersey. It's just the way it works. Glenn, I don't know you anymore.
Glenn's trying it.
We're no longer friends.
Same thing.
Yeah. No, there's a smell in Jersey. If you ever drove down the New Jersey Turf Pike, you know when you're in Jersey because you just know.
Ooh.
But again, I digress. The that man Idris Elba could do no wrong. I really wanted him in the Marvel universe though, after seeing him in like the DC stuff, but I'm excited for the future of the DC stuff.
We need a new Kang. He could definitely slide in there.
I would love to see. I would love that, but apparently they fucking trashed that whole storyline.
Yeah, I don't know what to say because it's kind of like it seemed interesting, and I mean Jonathan Majors, he's a damn good actor. It sucks, but he is a damn good actor. He did so good in Loki. I was like, oh, I was looking forward to this, and I'm like, damn it, bro.
I loved him in that that HBO show that he did.
I've not seen anything except his stuff in Marvel personally.
Okay. Well, speaking of Marvel stuff, the X-Men. So what is your did you watch the X-Men in the 90s? Did you?
Sure did. Okay. Sure did. Every Saturday, got up for that. Hilariously, one of my first jobs, I was working at one of the major cable companies up here, and like because it was cable, we'd have to we had TVs in there to check to see if people called in like this isn't working. We'd have a TV, but anyways, on Saturdays it was like throw the X-Men on because we're testing to make sure it works. So just rewatching that again as an adult. But yeah, no, watch that. Watch the movies in the 90s. Love those. I have trading cards. Not many comics because my parents were immigrants and they were like, we're not spending money on picture books that are not for education. So it was very hard to get them to spend money on, and they were expensive. That's fair. But for the times, but yeah, I'm very familiar with like the general lore and universe. I'm not by any stretch like I don't know every iteration of Rogue. I don't know every iteration of Storm, and there's so many
Yeah,
of
yeah.
them. But
Me either.
I get the general purpose. I know the dynamics of the team.
Which
So
is
yeah,
why I think like this show did so well when it came out, is because like even people like, I didn't do a lot of comics when I was the same thing. We were broke. We didn't live anywhere near comic books, like a comic book store. The only place that had comic books that was near my house was like this diner that was around the corner from my house. They had like a magazine rack, and two spots on the magazine racks would sometimes have comic books on it. But it was
Archie.
like,
No.
yeah, there was Archie comics, there was Sailor Moon but it was just like whatever. Like it didn't have like, it's not like the guy that was running this diner would be like, oh, there's a new Superman story out, I got to get every comic in this. It was just like random comics like that would end up in the rack. So like, I never had like a cohesive thing. And then the fact that they jump all over the place and they would reset the story always. That's why I read books, because I was like, at least this book, like it's all right here.
Yes.
And like tomorrow another author will release a story with the same characters in this book, but everything is different. And
yes,
I couldn't follow comics when I was a kid.
And libraries had books. Like my libraries did not carry comics until probably the 2000s.
Oh shit!
So,
I didn't even realize libraries carried comics. I didn't.
They do
that
now. At least I don't know if it was always a
cool.
thing, but where I lived, it was like there was just books. And then in the 2000s, like, oh, you guys have a comic section now. But I mean, like, you have to wait and then renting it out. So anyway.
Yeah, that would be tough. Like, and could you imagine like kids renting out comic? Like they're not coming back. Like books, the books get beat up. They're not coming back. Oh, I just remembered, and I got a bit pick. Hold on. Lovecraft Country. That was
I've heard good things about that.
Really enjoyed that show. I mean, and I it was in the news for a while. Like, he's a dick, right? Like he assaulted his girlfriend or something, right? Or allegedly.
Well, no, he got charged. Basically,
was it proved? I don't know.
Yeah, like she
I don't want to get sued.
claimed a lot of things. This is what I understand, is that she had a lot of things, but they could only prove one. And that's what he got charged for. And it wasn't enough to put him in jail. It was like a minor assault, but all the same, he did do it.
It's an assault, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
don't assault people, especially like in a power dynamic like that. Like, I don't get it. I don't get people. But no, it's hard. It's so hard too, because I really enjoyed it. God, it sucked. Like, obviously it sucks more for the people involved, but I'm always worried that like these actors that I'm like, oh fuck, I like this dude and I like this, it's gonna come out like,
well, and I mean, I think it's what's a rough thing is the older you get is that, you realize people sometimes make really bad decisions. It doesn't mean they're terrible people, but sometimes you make a bad decision in a moment in your life, and you do your best to make up for it. But I just find like these days people are like, oh, you made a mistake once, forget your life, forget everything. You should just give up. Just stop right here. And I'm like, can we calm down? Can we let people try to do better?
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, that's the other thing too. And there's got to be people smarter than me that got to figure this out. But there's got to be like, a give and a take here. If people want to get better and be better, you got to give them a chance to get better and be better, or you're just going to drive them into worse situations. Like, that's what makes.
Well, I always say to people that, the same people who are in the only difference between a celebrity and us making a mistake is that one of us has millions of eyes on us. That's it.
Yeah.
We've all made mistakes, various degrees, of course. I'm not saying all of us have gone out and hurt people, but like we've done various levels. But my point is almost everybody who's alive today has been forgiven at least once, right?
Yeah,
somebody's forgiven you once. Your parent, someone you care about, someone you love, society, whatever. So why can we expect that? Because we would. But we can't extend it to other people, right? Like, and I'm not saying you should feel you don't have to love that person, but it's kind of like if they do what they do and they actually atone for it, whether it's they get charged or they do whatever, can we not just let them at least do their best to work better? Like it's like these celebrities who've done things 10 years ago, they try to do something nice. It's like, oh, but remember that time you did that thing 10 years ago? You still suck.
I don't know, man. It's There's got to be a good answer for it, but we're not going to figure it out here because we got to watch the X-Men.
97.
I'm gonna give everyone the link to the watch party so that we can get started on watching the show. We're only 30 minutes in, like we didn't go off on too many tangents. So for anyone that's joining that hasn't joined one of our rewatches where we use our teleparty watch watch party application. It's a legit web extension. It's not like any craziness. Netflix made it during the pandemic, and now pretty much all the streaming platforms let you use it with their platform. If you don't have your own account with Disney Plus, you won't be able to use it, which is how they get around. You have to subscribe. You don't just watch. Basically what it's doing is instead of watching my account, which is how most watch parties work, like within the thing, like you guys are watching me press play on the thing, we are all watching our own accounts and they're just synchronizing them is essentially what's happening.
Synchronized swatches.
Yeah. Which reminds me, if you don't want to join the watch party through Teleparty, I will have the clock on my screen if it wants to be. There it is. Boop. Okay. So I will align the clock to the time in the show so that you guys could follow along that way. So we'll give everyone like a minute or two to get that set up again. Do you have a favorite X-Men character?
It's right there in my little byline. I'm an OG Rogue stan.
Okay. So then how did you watch all of 97?
I did. But yeah, I loved Rogue's story. I loved it. Well, in the comics, I just mean like from the cards and the things that I saw about it.
Yeah.
I just thought she was just such a real, and I love, one thing I always love about Marvel is how they take real life stuff and they translated that into whatever the superpower is. And so, Rogue's biggest issue being her fear of connection. And it turned into if I connect with you, I will suck the life out of you. But it really wasn't the truth, right? If you look at the real life, it's like perception, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I just really thought she was really cool, and this sense of being untouchable but craving connection. Just thought she was always very cool. But also the fact that she can just like touch someone like Captain Marvel and be like Captain Marvel strong for a few hours is kind of cool.
Yeah. and then in the and I only know this because of the actually the tabletop game Hero Clicks, which is a ton of fun. If you like any kind of tabletop war game or even like a game like chess, it's so much fun. I call it chess with superpowers. But anyway, they have a lot of backstory on the characters and lots of different versions of characters. Rogue, so especially in this show, Rogue can fly and she's like impervious and she has super strength and stuff. She actually drained other mutants of their powers till they died, and if she does that, she keeps their power, which I thought was
So that's they don't talk about it in the show, but the reason she can do all those things is because Miss Marvel is who she drained. She didn't kill her.
She didn't kill her.
Just about. And now she's trapped in her head, which is another really cool storyline of like how Professor X had to go in there and be like, hey, Miss Marvel, can you stop terrorizing Rogue? She deserves it, but can you not? Because your powers with someone who's crazy is not great.
Yeah.
But these are great storylines. We don't get to see.
Oh, yeah. And I've said this a bunch of times about like the 90s, specifically like the 90s and the early 2000s, like Saturday morning cartoons on pretty much all the networks. They stealthily snuck in like pretty deep conversations about things into cartoons that I really feel like went not over the heads, but like behind the backs of a lot of the studio executives because they didn't pay attention to the cartoons. Cartoons, who cares about that nonsense? And then it was like, yes, it was the Carol Danvers Miss Marvel. Thank you, Norman Gordon.
Yes.
And yes, the Marvels was fantastic.
Loved it. People who hated on it, I know a group. You know who you are if you hated it. That's all I have to say.
We call them book cloaks in the Wheel of Time fandom. They're neckbeard incel usually.
Red pillars, yeah.
My favorite character though in the Marvels, and what was that? The Marvels was the movie. What was the Kamala Khan Disney Plus show?
It was Miss Marvel. Yeah.
It was just Miss Marvel. Mm-hmm. Her dad is my favorite character in the whole MCU, I think.
Love him. He's so great.
Yeah. And slight spoiler for the new Daredevil show, but not really. Her dad makes an appearance in it. And I was so excited when I saw him. I was like, oh my God, that's the same actor. Oh, it's the same guy.
I hope to see him just be like a Stan Lee and just pop up all over in the Marvelverse as long as they can keep him. I'll be down for that.
Yeah. Her whole family was great. I loved particularly the scenes when it was like her brother, her mom, her dad, and her, and they were just like, sniping each other. Like,
Just being a real, like, and that's the thing I love about, like, and this is why I'm saying, like, this is why diversity is a good thing in these types of things, is that, like, yes, we're getting a peek into it, because I have Indian friends who are like, that's so accurate to what it's like in an Indian household. And it's fun, but it's like, you don't have to be Indian to appreciate, like you said, like the sniping at each other and the back and forth, and how you have a sibling who's like, I don't care if you have superpowers, you're still my little sister and I can't stand you.
Oh yeah. And how similar, family dynamics are no matter what nationality or ethnicity.
Exactly. It shows the sameness of it all.
The importance of food and like, the way they talk about it and like, getting together and stuff like that. And
how culture or background can impact your decisions or why you do things a certain way. But yeah, I love, and she's also one of the few Marvel superheroes that has a full family.
Exactly. She doesn't have a tragic backstory.
Right. Just a healthy, generally emotionally stable kid. Go figure.
Yeah. You almost never see that.
Not Marvel.
So I hope they continue with her and her storyline and her stuff, because it was a lot of fun. And I have a feeling we'll see it. I actually called it out in last week's episode. The after credit scene in the Marvels where you see like the old school X-Men Beast, what's his name? Frazier.
Yes, Kelsey Grammer.
Beast and Monica Rambeau's Miss Marvel is trapped in the alternate dimension, and they're like, he's in a lab coat in like a hospital room. And then the last episode was very similar with Beast in a lab coat with the kid waking up in the hospital room, and like after the attack. Oh, what were they called? Like the Freedom Front or something like that.
The people who are basically anti-mutants. Yeah.
The Proud Boys, the X-Men 97 Proud Boys.
Isn't it crazy? Like, I mean, I know they redid this, but if you go back to the 90s version, I'm like, oh my God, we have not moved in 30 years.
No. In fact, we've gone backwards a little bit. All right.
Anyway,
with that, let's get ready to press play on this episode. So I'm going to share the link again for the watch party in chats, and then I will give everyone a countdown and press play. And when we watch the second episode, it'll just go right into the second episode. So I'll reset the timer when we do that, and we'll just go right into the second episode. We're not going to skip over the intro or the recap or anything like that. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and play. And we're going. Okay.
We're in it. Oh, Jean.
This is like, I was making fun of it a little bit last week. She didn't do her normal Jean Grey. Yeah, you knew exactly what I was going to say. She didn't do it at all. Like Jean in every X-Men TV show was always just like, after she used her power one time, and that was it. She would faint.
It's so true. And you want me to believe she's Omega?
But that's how we know it isn't the Jean Grey. She didn't faint once. And then what does real Jean Grey do? What is the first thing she does? Right there, she faints. She faints. The first thing she does.
Fake Jean's like, I had a whole baby.
And I'm fine. I can see
use my powers while I was in labor. Okay?
Exactly. But this storyline, I feel like it was brave. First of all, I feel like it was brave for them. Why is the timer all fucked up? The timer is black for some reason. I'll fix that while we talk. Yeah, I know. I broke it 100%. That's how I do things. I can't. The time is gone on it. I think the box turned weird.
Is the text black?
Where did it go? Where's
black
the,
on
where's
black?
the time? The time is gone. I don't know what happened to it.
Maybe the font color is black.
Yeah, I'm gonna just delete this and just make a new one. So you guys are gonna see a weird window pop up for a minute while I talk. But
that looks like Tom is. Oh, it was up. It was like one of those old when they had the witnesses on like the old TV.
Oh yeah.
Censoring.
So, as a Rogue fan, what is your feeling on the Rogue Magneto Gambit triangle that they got going on?
I'm gonna be real. In the comics, I was not a big fan of Rogue and Gambit together. I feel like it was just lazy. They're both from the South, so we're gonna throw them together, kind of situation. Like just in the from what
I didn't even think
comics I
about that way.
saw. Yeah, just from the comics I saw. Again, I didn't read a lot of them, so maybe I missed a lot of context. But I just felt like they didn't have anything that was really connective outside of the fact that they were both from the South, and and really Gambit was chill, right? And that was kind of work. Like, it's like, oh, okay, I can't ever touch you, cool, whatever. But I think they did the relationship between her and Magneto quite well. Like, I mean, outside of the fact that the age gap seemed like it was a little bit creepy. Because they didn't really say exactly how old, but I mean, Magneto's also always had white hair, so maybe he wasn't that big. But that's the only part I was like,
he was in the Holocaust, so he's got to be like, what did we figure?
if this is the 90s,
he's in his 70s, right? Or his like
Yeah.
late 60s.
he'd have to be in his 60s at a minimum if
Yeah,
he
and
was
she's like,
if it's the
what?
90s. And she, at the time they're saying this, she was like maybe 19 at most.
Yeah, little
Groomy.
little icky, just very icky. It's very icky.
Yes,
Let's
I'm
just
not
be
a fan.
honest. It was
Yeah.
bad. It was
I mean,
no
the man's.
buenos.
I mean, look at him. The man looks great in spandex, but it doesn't
He
excuse
does.
the fact that he's. But you understand it though, in the sense of like they made more sense of it in the sense of, okay, I get it. Like, she's untouchable, quote unquote, and he chooses to be untouchable because he's so
Yeah.
scared of letting people in. So you get why they bond. But it's just like they didn't, maybe we didn't need to cross the line to romantic. I would have been more about the two of them just having a really ambiguous but strong bond, if that makes sense. Like, they didn't have to cross that line, at least not at that age.
That's fair.
If that makes sense. I feel like it would have made
Yeah.
more sense if maybe now, like, when they moved it to them rekindling, like maybe just making that the first Kindle when she's older. But
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, Morph has existed this whole time. He was in the comics, and he did make appearances in the '90s cartoon a bunch, but he wasn't like a mainstay character.
no, not at all.
That's an addition for this, like especially having his name in like the
In the
and, like, the
credits,
crawl in the
it was
beginning and all that
not in the
stuff. Yeah,
credits
he
at
was
all
not
in the
there.
'90s one.
100% convinced they only did that so that they can not have to like get lots of other X-Men characters and voice actors for those characters, but
Yes.
still be able to have like cameos of those characters.
Absolutely. And not have to like actually do any like storylines and stuff for them.
Yeah, they'll just be like, oh, Morph turns into, and he does it in this episode. Like he turns into, I forgot her name, the woman with 6 arms. And she makes an appearance in the next episode too. She's from that
Right.
video game universe that. There's an episode from the '90s cartoon that what's his face from episode 4, when we go into the video game in episode 4, is in, and the woman that he becomes in this episode is also in that episode. So it was a little bit of a foreshadow. But like, she's just this random one-shot character, very almost never seen, but here she is, and Morph gets turned. He also does the Blob and Archangel in the last episode.
Yes, the Hulk at one point too.
Yep,
So
yep. And I love how dark Morph is in his comedy. Like, Charles is dead for like, I mean, he's dead for a year, but it was the day of his anniversary, and he comes out to Scott as Charles, and like
exactly.
fucking like just basically roasts him as Charles.
It was funny. I had somebody in my comments when I was reacting to this saying that they feel like Morph was a representative of somebody who might be on the spectrum of autism, and I'm like, I kind of see it, like, in the sense
Absolutely.
of like not recognizing, like, oh, so this is a joke I shouldn't make, but isn't it true though? Like,
Yeah,
right? Like Charles
Yeah,
walking, even like,
yeah. And he did the same thing with Jean too, with Wolverine in the club at the end. He was like, "Oh, Charles, I'm dating this boring, oh, Wolverine, I'm dating this boring." Like, it's like, wow.
Can he turn into an in-universe fictional character?
You mean like someone in
Who's
who's
fictional in
the TV show? I think he needs to have seen them in real life to turn into them.
I believe that's one of his caveats. He has to have seen them. Like, he can't just like see. And I think he has to like actually have physically seen them. I don't think he can like just look at a picture. I think he actually has to see them.
Like it's like a DNA thing.
Yeah.
He has to like, essentially be close enough to like have skin cells or hair. I think that's how it works, because he does turn into the person on a DNA level, because he actually does get like a watered down version of their powers when he changes into them, which we've seen him use already in the show. Which I kind of felt bad for Archangel, because like all the dude has is flying, and then Morph can just fly. It's not like you get like a watered down version of flying. He could fly.
Yeah, I'm looking online. It says he just mimics. And I know it's
he doesn't do like
temporary.
energy stuff, like telepath.
Yeah.
He gets physical powers, I think it is.
But yeah, and it's always nerfed. So like if he turned into Wolverine, he could get like claws, but they're not going to be adamantium.
Nah, yeah, they'll just be like sharp claws that he could take out. So the this episode plays a lot like a horror movie. I felt like very tonally like a horror movie, which is great for Sinister.
Yes, especially, and it's funny. Someone pointed out that I didn't even notice the fact that Sinister's colors were themed in this whole episode.
Mm-hmm. Right
I
now,
didn't think of that.
The whole background is Sinister. Yeah, very dark. Green, purple, and blue are Sinister.
Yes. And I love that. Lots of detail in this show that they paid attention to.
Do you know Sinister's background? I'm not asking for, like quizzing purposes, but if you can give us Sinister's background, then I don't have to talk for a minute.
I honestly don't know a ton outside of I just know that he was like obsessed with mutants and that he's insanely old. And he's just kind of like popped in and out. Like, I don't know a ton, because even in the old one, I think he only popped up a few times. Not considered a major Marvel villain, despite the fact that he's caused a lot of trouble.
Yeah. This is hilarious. Look at this. So this is. They've just been in the danger room banging the whole time. Is that basically what's going on? Also, one thing I noticed when he's scrolling through. So there's 4 dates. We got Friday 10 to 12.
Yeah.
We've got Saturday 2 to 4. Saturday 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. But it's 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. on Friday. So did they just have like a 14-hour fucking session?
I'm sure they were just talking deeply.
14 hours? Like, damn, Magneto, 68 years old, still fucking.
You be pulling energy from the earth, okay? Quite literally.
All right, okay. I also I was making fun of it because last week their whole shit, because it's so weak, like. Oh, he could touch her because... Oh, yeah, and here you go, Wolverine's claws. He can touch her because he puts a low-level magnetic field around his... Yeah. Since when are humans magnetic? Like, why does that... Mutant powers are magnetic now? Like, what...
No, I mean, it makes sense, though. Like, I didn't question it just because magnetism is... It's a spectrum, right? It involves electricity and magnetism. And yes, we are magnetic as humans. We're not magnetic. We have a field. We have a field around us.
But, like...
So...
He's blocking her powers with magnetism, like.
No, it's because he's creating a force. Like, it's kind of I don't know. I guess it hit me because I just thought of like, you put two magnets together at the same side, they repulse. Yeah. That's what I thought he was doing to her. Is that like their skin was touching but not touching because he was pushing all of her atoms away or whatever.
I guess,
but it's a stretch. It is a stretch. But Magneto can also like. Pull the core of the earth out. So we just kind of like... I know. They attest a lot of stuff to magnetism with Magneto that just felt a little crazy. But this is definitely like a fucking Lovecraftian horror movie. Like this episode is horror. Like it's body horror, it's physical horror, there's jump scares, it's crazy. I think this one, the reason I thought it was so good is because she got in and got to everyone's worst, because that's the worst thing. Like, you can put something out there like a monster and think, okay, that's scary, but like Wolverine's not going to be scared of a lot. But if you get into his head with his worst fears,
oh yeah,
and his trauma, which is a mile long, that's terrifying.
Yep, he said that, which is what Sinister does. So first, I want to touch on the Goblin Queen and her outfit.
Very
marked improved, like. Still a little like obviously pretty like most of the X-Men, they're very like, their costumes, even the men, their costumes accentuate their bodies a lot.
Of course.
But the Goblin Queen is markedly better than her costume in the comics.
Oh, yeah. Still in that
Yeah.
BDSM era. Yeah.
Yeah, but like she's literally naked and like
Who's
she's
behind
got a
her wearing
loincloth
a matching
on with,
outfit?
yeah, like I don't understand even how that top works. But
Yeah,
I
imagination.
digress. Still better than the
Yeah, I don't think they could have gotten away with that on Disney Plus, that outfit.
no. The and then so we brought up Mr. Sinister before. So in the comics, I believe he's far older than than the X-Men TV show, but in the X-Men TV show he's from like 1880s or something like that. He was a geneticist, and eugenics and stuff like that are thrown around, and he turns himself he's basically seeking immortality and power is the niche of it. Yeah. And in the I've been rewatching the 90s TV show. In the 90s TV show, Sinister is his character also touches on Xavier's ancestry. So like Xavier's ancestor like confronts Jason or James Xavier confronts this version of Sinister in this episode, and a Gray, like Jean Grey's ancestor as well. So they've kind of hinted that he's been manipulating, like maybe Jean Grey, even like the real Jean Grey, like Sinister has some sort of kind of hand in.
And that makes sense if he's been around that long, right? He's had time to move chess pieces.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. A couple of the scenes in this episode, like you can tell almost a lot of these episodes are homages to other episodes of television and movies. We'll point that out later, but like, you know, they do like a rom-com episode, they do. But one of the other things that I realized while watching this, and it was kind of like an existential thing. It's a soap opera. X-Men, even in the 90s when we were kids and now, it was a soap opera for kids.
1,000%. 1,000%. They're the most successful type of storytelling globally.
Yeah.
Globally. Yeah. Every country in the world that has some form of TV has got a form of a soap opera because it is the most successful form of storytelling. We get invested in the characters, and that's why they can go on forever.
Yep. I mean, like if you looked at the story, if you broke the like these episodes down to their bare bones, it sounds like a soap opera. Like a dude who's been with this woman for years and she's a clone. The real version of her comes back. The clone baby has a future virus in it that they have to send into the future to fix. And like now, the former head of this school's best friend, who's like the polar opposite of him, is coming in to take over. Like it sounds like a soap opera. Absolutely. Professional wrestling is definitely also a soap opera with fighting. That's all it is, with physical,
people
with more
love
physical
it.
fighting. Yeah.
Which actually, bringing that up, how did you feel about the how they handled the Scott's dilemma, his baby mama drama wife, same person but not?
It's interesting. Like it in some ways, like bad, like she just doesn't care about her baby. Like, and like also like Scott turns her down, so she has a psychotic break and becomes a villain. Like a little, you know, shitty, but also at the same time, like having in episode 2, the fake Jean Grey, but you know, no one knew that then, has a conversation with Aurora Storm, where she's like, I don't know if I want my baby to be a mutant because I don't want it, like, if, you know, then he'll have to grow up in this world. And like, that's a deep conversation to be having. So like, I like it. I like it. I don't like it. It's really interesting writing in some ways and also really shallow writing in some ways. But I think all in all, I like the story that they're doing in this with everyone except Rogue. I don't like the Rogue Magneto relationship.
Yeah, that was a weird. I don't even know why they had to have a love story for Magneto. He has enough going on in the best of times. Or if anything, they should have I would have loved if they touched on his relationships that, you know, made 2 of his most ridiculous kids. That would have been nice. Yeah. But anyway, but no, I agree with you. And I think it's very interesting. There's a lot of debates in my comments about Scott and what's the right way to act when the woman you love has been split into two, and they're both kind of the same person, and yet they're not, and they're both asking you to choose.
We got the basic instinct unleg cross there too from her when she was sitting in the
Of
thing.
course.
I never really liked Cyclops because he's basically like, I said this like on the first episode. If Cyclops is your favorite X-Man, you're either a cop or into dudes. Which I'm not saying that's a bad thing if you're into dudes, but that's why you either like him because he gives that energy a little bit, or you're a cop. Like he's like, I feel like those are the only two. It's like,
I do kind of hate that. It's true to the comic though, but he's such a square.
he really is.
He's such a square.
They did rehab him a bit in this show though. Like I don't hate every scene with him in it in this show.
No, he's not. He's a square in this show. I think he's a square in a believable way. Like you can see that he's like, I just want to be someone who lives up to daddy's expectations, right? AKA Charles.
Yeah.
And I think the most real moment I love that they gave him was, which we're gonna see here, is when, they realize they got to send little baby Nate off, and he's like, fine, I don't want to even be here if he leaves. I'm like, bro, really?
This episode is so deep. And it dives into a lot of deep topics with like, especially with her, with the Goblin Queen, and like you're saying with her with Scott and the baby, and then Magneto, and then the next episode is like just fun video game episode.
It definitely felt like I remember feeling like the first 5 episodes of this, I'm like, this feels like this had 10 different people writing them. It's giving like, I mean, he is. He is daddy.
It's
Charles
true.
is everybody's daddy. He can sun the whole world if he wants to. Let's be real. So I will call him daddy. Yes.
It seems like too that anything that's green, that has this green color, is Sinister.
Yes.
Is like Mr. Sinister or whatever in this thing. They even made so we saw them putting baby Nathan in like the test tube thing, but they even made the techno virus that Nathan has in the old TV show, and in the comics it's blue, but in this it's green. And in the comics, Apocalypse gives it to him, but in this new setting, Mr. Sinister gives baby Nathan the techno virus.
Oh, you gotta put that ponytail in.
Oh yeah.
She's like, I have to get my hair to my waist so I don't faint on it.
And now the real Jean. So, and here's more soap opera, like love. I don't even know what you would call this. A cube. Fucking real Jean is, and we know in a future. So, we're full spoilers for X-Men 97. She's going to kiss him in like an episode or two. And like now she's giving him a little life. Like maybe I do like you. And but it's not Jean. Like almost their whole relationship for the past few years apparently has been not a lie, but with this clone and not Jean. So,
and that's where you have that line of like, how much of that was true to the real Jean, or is it because she deviated as a clone? But I mean, in many renditions though, they've said that Jean and Logan have an unspoken, like if Scott wasn't here, basically, right? That's like, if Scott is the only reason we're not together.
You're not wrong, Nomengard. And they did explore that a little bit in the movies, the X-Men movies that are canon but not canon now, whatever you want to call them. The huge, the OG X-Men movies from like the early 2000s. They, that's like the Jean's downfall in the movies is, X-Men, not downfall, but her descent into the Phoenix and being dark is Magneto telling her, Charles has been manipulating your mind from the beginning. And he was. So like, is that right? Is it wrong? There's a lot of back and forth with that. I always thought Magneto was right, to tell you the truth.
He is right in logic, but where Charles was right is that going low because the other side has gone low is not the answer.
No,
there isn't a perfect answer. Not always, but I guess his point was like, are you any better than the devils you're condemning if you go down there? And that's what his whole thing was. But he didn't have an answer either. So that's why Magneto was like, well, you're telling me it's wrong, but you don't have a better solution.
Really?
You could mine.
Yes.
Fine. Fine.
And they always compare them, like in the back in the day, to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X's like version, like non-violence and violence, but
To
it's
a
deeper
degree,
than that.
it is deeper. And I think
Like, no, I mean, like the real argument is deeper than that.
yeah,
Like, but like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King is way deeper than just violence, and not because even toward the end, Martin Luther King was like, sometimes we gotta be violent.
As they say, even Jesus flipped the table, right? But
Exactly.
it's funny too, because with the Charles thing about him being manipulative, it reminds me of going back to Jessica Jones with the Purple Man.
Oh.
And there's a whole episode where we get the history of him, and he talks about the fact that he's like, I don't always know the way my powers work. I'm not always fully aware sometimes of if I am using it to make people do what I want, because it's so intrinsic into the way his thinking is. Like, I don't think I did, but I can't even 100% tell you that I didn't. And I feel like it's the same with Charles, to be perfectly honest. I think he thinks he understands all of his powers, but I don't think he always knows sometimes when he just maybe that little thing goes off and he maybe gives you a little tweak, a little nudge, because he wants you to, and doesn't realize he's actually using his mutation to do it.
Yeah. And it's funny too, when you go from property to property to property, it changes. So like the Wheel of Time, for example.
To zap the baby in the tube. I'm sorry. Every time I was like,
I mean, like it's easy for me to go back to Wheel of Time, or obviously drag him out Wheel of Time. Like I'm always going to bring it back, but it is my obsession. Like I've loved Wheel of Time forever. But anyway, compulsion in the Wheel of Time is evil 100%, taking away someone's ability to choose their own destiny. No matter what it is, it's always bad. Yes. Star Wars, on the other hand, Jedis do it all the fucking time. Jedi mind trick, no problem.
Yeah. Just a little nudge, though.
Yeah. Well, and then X-Men too, just taking away people's ability to be themselves. And like, you could just go into people's brains whenever you want. Like, there's a lot of gray area there.
Well, I think that's hard too when you have like the nature of Charles's power, right? Charles's power is like, I can't not, the only way it works is it's invasive. There's no non-invasive way to use my power. Yep. So it does that innately make it wrong.
So for people that don't know who Mr. Sinister is, and I started explaining before, he's basically a geneticist who is obsessed with living forever and gaining power. And once he discovers mutants and that it's, genes and stuff like that and DNA, he just goes to town with that. So it's eugenics and like master race Nazi shit to like 1,000. Yes, he was involved in the Nazi experimentations too. Mr. Sinister is basically everything that's ever been evil in like the last 150 years. Mr. Sinister's been there.
Oh, I love that shot there where they show in the visor the baby and Jean. Sorry, little things like that.
They've done really well with the art with this, though. I will say they did reuse the same scene that they reused in the X-Men TV show. So they used it in like 3 different episodes too. So Scott with her here and Scott with her in this here. Like it's the same scene over and over again. They did the same thing here.
So good, you got to do it again, man.
Yeah. They even redid the opening scene. They just traded Jubilee's scene with him. Like, so it's like
awesome,
the same exact scene, but it's cool. So, but for people who don't know who Cable is, or Nathan Summers, in fact, I think his name is like Nathan Charles.
Yeah,
there might even be another name in there. If you saw the Deadpool 2. So we had Cable in that, which was the same Cable. He does have the technovirus. You can kind of see he's got the the glowing eye. He's got metal kind of in his skin. Same idea as this version of Cable also. So, we'll see where they overlap with the MCU and Deadpool and the multiverse and all that nonsense. Bishop, on the other hand, so like this is the change here. So Cable in the X-Men cartoon from the 90s and Cable in just like the general Marvel universe, even this version of Cable was from the year 3099, and Bishop was from the year 2055, and he even says it in this. He has to go back to 2055. So that's already a little bit of a deviation, them bringing him back here. They sent him to the year 3099 to get cured in the comics and in the other one. So this is a little bit of a deviation. I thought this scene also was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The two of them kind of having like an understanding a little bit.
Yeah, like neither of us know for certain which one is the real one. But we also feel like we both deserve to exist. Right? So the fact that this bedroom stayed wrecked the whole episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are a lot of Summerses.
There are. They're kind of like the super family in the X-Men universe anyway.
Yeah. His younger brother,
Havoc.
Yeah, Havoc. He was in the movies a little bit.
Yeah, in the remake, they kind of touched on him more in the remake than they did in the OG. The OG, he was a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
But
Tequila Mockingbird, by the way. Perfect. Fucking genius. This is also similar to the way they did it in the comics with Forge and Aurora going on this like adventure together. They did the similar thing in the comics.
Yeah, they didn't really. Forge was not in the 90s one at all, from my recollection.
Resetting the. Oh yeah, right. The clock. I wasn't able to fix the clock for some reason. Sorry, guys. If you're following along that way, I'll give a shout out in the next one. But like I said, I'm just gonna let it play. So we're going into the next episode now. The watch party should just reset and start playing for everybody. If you get kicked out, I will share the link in chat again. Ooh, look, we got a bot. Cheap viewers on Twitter. So I'm sharing the link to the watch party again. The second episode just started. We're like 5-6 seconds into it. They're just going through the recap again.
With our pretty rich boy.
Yeah. It's like, and in the second or in the first episode when they were going after him again, what did he say? That was like, so
I'm not like them.
I'm one of the good ones. That's what he said.
I'm one of the good ones.
You're one of the good ones. Yeah. Like it's very 1950s, 1960s racism.
But it's not even, it's even today. Like, today I think
too, yeah.
It's topical in the sense of, certain people who didn't have issues with policies that were going in. And it was, but even though those people are very similar to me, but I'm one of the good ones. We're not, this weird lines that we start to divide. Like, no, it's you're talking about borders. Like maybe, these people come from this part, that part, but you're all part of the same diaspora.
Mm-hmm. And really what it comes down to is it's the rich class pitting poor people against each other. And that's what the mutant thing is about too. Cause it's like it's the humans pitting two versions of mutants against each other to distract from the real thing, which is just humans shitting all over mutants. And it's the same kind of fight in the real world, which is really just the rich versus the poor. And then they convince us to fight each other.
Yep. Whoever wants the power. But I just thought that was very interesting, and seeing Roberto having to deal with that kind of all season of not wanting to be part of it because he doesn't want to be different. He knows what his parents and his family members have said about mutants. Mm-hmm. And that's why he doesn't want to tell them that, hey, guess what? I could burn you all alive right now.
We got Gambit in his belly shirt again. I get excited. So let me ask you a question. Just like on a side note, on a not serious note. Does Magneto just wear those gloves all the time? Like he goes to sleep and he's like, listen, I want a dark purple suit with purple elbow length gloves with a big M. I want the M to go from the shoulders. I want the middle of the M to be above my crotch. Like I can't see him like just going to a costume maker.
Actually, you see, you're not appreciating Tom. Like that body is not part of his mutation. He's been in the gym.
That's fair. He works
when
on that.
When you're in your 60s, exactly. He's like, they were probably giving him a perfectly nice fit. And he said, whoa, I'm not no Charles. Okay. Don't put me in no 3-piece suit. Get me get the good spandex. I know you got it in the back.
Get the good spandex. I'm sorry. Not elbow length glove. They go up to the mid bicep. That's
Period.
a lot.
Which-
That is extra as
ginormous
fuck.
biceps.
He does. I love that shot of like Wolverine with the muffins. That was wonderful.
He's got his domestic moments, guys. He just acts really angry.
I love that they are still like Jubilee's the kid with the video games. I keep forgetting that it's set in the 90s, and then we get stuff like whatever they call the Nintendo thing. It's play on the character.
Nintendo. It was very close.
It's a play on the character's name, the villain's name too.
Yes, Motendo.
Yeah,
Motendo. Was yeah. But if you weren't a 90s kid, you would not have recognized those but that's such a real throwback to the original Sega console, regular Nintendo consoles.
Yeah, I mean, even the cartridge looks like a Sega. The controllers look like a Sega, like a Sega.
Yeah, it's a Sega box. Yeah.
Motendo.
Look at it. You have to hope that those cartridges never got dirty. So annoying.
I also want to say, someone make this game. Like
I've been saying,
like it's like a 16-bit game. Like it can't be that like. It's just like a side-scrolling fighting game. Let's make this game. Yeah, those are Sega controllers for sure.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. I watched so many What Idol parody. Oh yeah, right. And we got a vote on that too. That's what you mentioned before, and I got sidetracked into actual voting matters. Make sure to go vote in the What Idol stuff, everybody. Share the link if you could, Rapunzel. Thank you. I love her. Rapunzel is another, like, I have a lot of favorite people. Rapunzel is definitely one of she's top-notch peoples.
It's a great name. I believe it.
My wife's favorite Disney movie, Tangled.
It's a good movie. Although someone brought out something very interesting, just as a side note, about, they were talking about, you saw that controversy about Sydney Sweeney's ad that she did recently. Anyway. They're talking about the glorification of blondness, and even even with white people being like, what's the fascination with blonde? Anyway, they brought up Tangled, and that's a great example. It's like, oh, she was beautiful, amazing. She cuts her hair, and what happens? It turns brown. And so the magic is gone, and there goes her hair color as well with the magic. So I was like, I didn't even think about that, but it is messaging.
It is, and not very subtle at all. I love Pascal
Disney.
though.
Right?
My favorite man. He's so funny. I like the sounds he makes.
Good movie. That's a good movie.
Yeah. It looks like the guy in the background kind of looked like Boba Fett, but also kind of looks like Cobra Soldier, but green instead of blue.
I think they mixed about 3 different outfits there. And since they own Star Wars, they can do what they want now.
True story.
So nice.
I wonder who owns G.I. Joe. Is it them too? No. Universal.
G.I. Joe is owned. Do they own the rights to doing it? You mean? Because I think Mattel still owns them, right? Mattel.
Yeah,
is the
Mattel. Yeah, but
owns?
I think for TV shows and stuff, it's Universal. It's the same world as Transformers, and I think that's Universal too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They don't do enough movies to have an IP like that.
No, they tried to do it at the end of the new Transformers movie with the kid, the guy that plays Cloak, the Hood in the Ironheart show, which was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's setting up Mephisto, Mr. Sinister. I really hope this is the direction they go with the MCU. Mr. Sinister's got some really cool, fucking crazy, ridiculous, horrible storylines. Yeah, Mojo has never been cool. And that's who this character is for. I mean, I even forgot to talk about him. He's the episode that we're fucking watching right now. It's a good palate cleanser from the seriousness of the last episode and the seriousness of next 2 episodes.
Yes. It is. And I feel like it's a weird cautionary tale about video games. And I'm like, I don't appreciate that as a gamer.
Me either.
But I did like seeing older Jubilee. That was kind of nice.
Yeah. Oh, and voiced by the original Jubilee actor.
Yes, that was a nice Easter egg I found out afterwards.
Yeah. I also saw, do I have the picture of her? She was in, I thought I took a screenshot. I might not have. She was in the X-Men movie where Nightcrawler attacks the president in the Oval Office.
Oh, that's 2. That was second.
That's 2.
X2, yeah.
She makes a cameo. The voice of Jubilee, the original Jubilee, makes a cameo as one of the White House tour guides.
Oh, cool. That's my favorite X out of those 90s ones. I loved X2 the most.
Me too.
They did Nightcrawler. Even to now, I'm like, that Nightcrawler stuff was actually done really well in that first scene.
Absolutely. That Nightcrawler was definitely my favorite Nightcrawler. I'm glad that he's making an appearance in the new shit. Like, he leaked that he's in it.
Yes, and he said he actually enjoyed it. Yeah, which I'm like, what happened in the 90s one? He's like, this was way better than the 90s one. I'm like, oh, I hope that doesn't mean you had a bad time on set. Maybe it was just the costume.
Probably, yeah. It looked probably miserable to put on and take off.
Which, shout out to Rebecca Romaine for doing that for 3 films.
Yeah, and Jennifer Lawrence.
I feel like it's easier now.
Yeah, probably. Funny enough, I saw a thing with Jennifer Lawrence. The first time she did Mystique, she had to be naked and in full body paint and stuff like that. And then in this most recent one, they were like, oh no, you could just wear this blue bodysuit that makes it look like you're naked. And she's like, how long has this been around? They were like, you could have wore this in the other movies. They just wanted you to be naked and paint you.
Yikes.
This background brings back so many memories. Like,
different. I loved how they did this.
Oh yeah. I want this game so bad. I love the fucking art here. It's so like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Yes.
Like, I want this game. This is the game I want right here. This is what I want.
I'm surprised they haven't done it like Disney. This is easy money.
Oh yeah. Come on. Just the
easy
fucking
money.
Even just put it on Disney Plus, like fucking Netflix did with those games. Like, you can make this a browser game. Come on.
Make it an app or one that you can get on your phone. People play this.
Fucking, what's his name? Is that Fing Fang Foom? The lizard-looking guy? I think that's Fing Fang. I think his name is Fing Fang Foom.
I also was looking at the poster in the back that had all the X-Men on it. So many Easter eggs in this episode. You actually really have to watch it multiple times.
I've gone back and checked. There's so many Easter eggs in all of the episodes.
It's true.
I took a couple of pictures.
This right here is straight Street Fighter.
Oh yeah. It's
straight out of Street Fighter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then like the old school side-scrolling games, like there was an X-Men one, but like the more famous one is the Simpsons one. Like that, when they walk onto the level, they just like that. They always come out of a door, spread out, walk on the level.
That
and then the
is every Nintendo game, OG Nintendo, like Contra and Mega Man. They were all that side-scrolling. Oh, there's this character you're talking about with the arms.
Yep. That's the real one. He Morph turned into her in the last episode when they were like, he's like, I vote yes, and he picked. Yes. And he had 6 arms. So.
Is that Daredevil's cane?
I know, right? Oh, another fun thing that I shared last week about Daredevil, and that I think you might think is interesting, is the creators of the Ninja Turtles were huge Daredevil fans, and the original Ninja Turtles comic book. When they show the origin of the turtles with like a truck crashing and chemicals falling into the sewer to turn them into mutant Ninja Turtles, it's the same accident that gave Daredevil his powers. Like the panels are the same, and Daredevil's even there, the kid.
Nice.
Yeah, if you look at the Daredevil comic and put it next to those first panels in the Turtle comic, they match up.
Oh, I've never seen the Daredevil comic, so I didn't know that was in the comic. I did see it in the show.
I saw the Ninja Turtle comic books. I read those, and then when I was watching stuff on the Turtle movie a few years ago, the new one that came out, which I liked a lot, the animated one, I saw that they were big fans, and like the original comic books were adult too. The foot soldiers were human, and they killed them with their weapons.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I also like this parallel in the episode of how Jubilee was beefing with Magneto, in real life, and in the game, this is like who ends up kind of being her final boss, or seemingly.
And they put him back in the 90s costume and stuff too.
They said cover up.
They also like to pay little homages to earlier episodes in the series too, with some of the things that they do. There was a few instances, I forgot to bring it up before, but they're like when Magneto grabbed the X-Men just a minute ago with his power. Oh no, I think he does it now. We'll see it in a second. The it's an homage to one of the earlier episodes where he does the same thing, and it's like the scenes are again shot for shot. I think I might have missed it though.
I love that this show, the whole thing, you could see that not only the creators but the animators had a lot of fun with it, which I think is always good to see.
Absolutely.
Because I can never be an animator. When I saw how much work goes into it, whew.
So much.
Panel.
I'm just not. I can't draw a damn thing. Like I'm not artistic enough.
Maybe you're a painter. That's why, an impressionistic painter.
I can sculpt decently, and I could take away. I can't add, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Painting.
Do Magneto's?
Go ahead.
Sure, go ahead.
No,
you go. I was just thinking, like, I'm trying to remember if Magneto's eyes still glow purple in the new one. They didn't make his eyes glow purple in this one, right? Yeah, that's an old school thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't even wearing purple.
No.
This series. Yeah. It was all about
except for his day wear. His day with the giant M on it. I'm sorry. It's the big M. It's just and the gloves. It's the M and the gloves that just kill me. Like.
And see, I would have been like the person who would be like, doesn't your name start with an E?
Oh God. It's so fucking funny.
Which if you tilt the M,
Yeah, just a little bit. I love that they got they hired the OG actors where they could, yes. And they brought back a lot of them for cameos like this where they could too, and then obviously some of them have passed away.
Yes. It's been a while since this show was on.
Yeah. But the nostalgia was like, I feel like this is another good example of being able to do nostalgia while bringing it up to date for a modern audience.
Yes. Like, I like that they said 97 so that the look and some of the vibes, and of course, for those of us who actually got to see it, but it's very clearly modernized in so many ways, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Even the art style, like the art style is reminiscent to the OG stuff. Like you could see like these are screenshots from the OG cartoon, but like you could see it in their new stuff still, but it's not like cheesy. My thing is like, it's just a bit smoother. Like they just kind of smoothed out some of the edges. You're not getting that grain that you got back in the day because we didn't have HD. But that's about it. Everything else is very similar. The hair movement, everything. They didn't get too fancy with it, which is nice. Strong Tron vibes in this one.
But he gained so much weight from the screen.
I know, right? Like he can make himself look like whatever he wants behind the screen. Then he's got to be the real version of him, apparently. I don't know. I don't know how his powers work. Some of the powers in these X-Men are wacky.
Like throwaway. And I always wonder because, like I said, a lot of times it's usually like a correlation between things, like something in the real life that they turned into a power. And some of them you're like, what were you even thinking here? Did you just want to do something? Like,
yeah.
The 70s had a lot of drugs, so
a whole lot.
They were experimenting with the LSD. So
yeah. There she is again.
I do want this outfit that she's wearing in something.
I know.
Somehow.
Oh, you got to see something I realized last week. I deleted the picture when we first ran. I got to get it again. For Jubilee. Fuck.
You're right, Glenn. The 2020s has a lot of drugs as well. I just mean like it was a different time. It was like very acceptable to be like high all the time during the 70s.
Yeah. It's not more evident than in anything but the costuming and like the color choices and stuff like that.
Yes.
Her with Forge here is a cool little nod to the comic book that I want to show real quick. they're wearing the same, or she's wearing the same outfit that she wore in the comic book. These white overalls, coveralls,
Oh,
or whatever.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
They did not put him in a pink shirt, though. I think he would have looked good in a pink shirt. Just saying.
That's true. One thing I also wanted to point out about this episode, I love that they showed with the future Jubilee, because so many people, one of the biggest critiques I remember about Jubilee even back in the day was like, what's she going to do? Like throw lights at me? Like what kind of a power is that? And this is one of the few episodes. She looks actually like her character a bit.
A little bit, yeah.
But yeah, they showed that Jubilee's powers are capable of being more lethal. It's just she chooses the more non-lethal one most of the time. But I love that they showed in this episode, like, no, she could actually slice your head off if she wanted to.
Yeah. And when she develops better, control and whatnot.
Yes.
Speaking of Jubilee, have you ever noticed that she's basically cosplaying as Doc Brown from Back to the Future?
No, I did not make that association. But you're right.
It's fucking. We were watching last week, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god! Oh my fuck! How did I never notice this before?" And it killed me.
That is hilarious.
This
Storm.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how they. I mean, like I can't wait for us to watch how she recovers. But Storm was always my favorite because I like elemental based powers.
Mm-hmm. She's my second favorite. Like she definitely is right up there. I like Rogue just a little bit, just because of her story more than anything.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But I've always loved Storm. I was
always pissed at Wolverine because I was like, why are you like Jean? She's with this dude. Storm is right there.
But I get it because Storm is somebody where you have to be very assured in yourself.
That's
to
fair.
be with
He's
Storm.
He is not confident enough in himself.
He's not.
Right.
And yeah, she's someone who demands a certain level because is it? Yeah, you'll get to that episode later. But when Magneto basically what happens to her before, oh no, it's before, this is the earlier episode, and he's like, you guys don't even deserve to like breathe the same air as her. She's actually like a goddess on Earth. Like, he finally I'm like, someone finally explaining like where Storm is at.
Absolutely.
Because she's reduced a lot, I think, in the comics to, okay, she can make some lightning and she floats. But I'm like, no, I don't think you guys understand. She's an Omega level mutant. She could literally end the Earth in elemental hell if she really wanted to. Like, she's very powerful. And more than that, she just has this presence. Like, she walks into the room and you're like, I felt that.
My favorite word, gravitas.
Yes, she has that in spades.
She does.
And what I like about this episode is that she kind of discovers that it's not related to her powers. She always thought it was.
Yeah.
And she kind of learns. Yeah, exactly. That is who she is and that the powers are just a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not in this episode too, but I really love how they showed when she first lost her powers, when she was like, I can't feel the air. Like I can't.
The earth, the water. Yeah.
Because I don't think they do enough of explaining how her powers actually work.
No.
And at least in the visuals. I don't know about in the comics, but in the visual mediums, they very much don't.
The comics either. It's just like she can control what. Oh man! And then they did her Storm and Halle Berry dirty with that line, the worst line in
do you television. Know what happens?
I don't even need to say it. Yeah. You got it. Everyone knows.
It was actually a waste of the guy who plays Toad too. Ray is an amazing actor.
Ray Park, yeah, man. Fucking Darth Maul.
Again, the only Star Wars villain. I was like, does he have to? Do we have to lose him? I feel like we can reform him.
Yeah.
The horns, I'm sure, come off.
Yeah, why not? I saw him at Disney once. Him and Billy D. Williams for like a Star Wars event that they were there for. The two of them together were hilarious. First time I heard Billy D. Williams say that Han Solo and Lando Calrissian were lovers. That's his headcanon for them, by the way.
I can dig it.
They're bisexual and they're lovers. That's Billy D. Williams' headcanon for him and for them. I've always thought that. He's like, I'm wearing his clothes at the end of the film. How did I get in them?
He might be onto something there. Fun fact, a lot of people, when my dad was younger, they said my dad looked like Billy D. Williams.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, very similar faces. Forge. I also like the way they kind of handled where Forge had to explain his arc,
Yeah.
about kind of what he did to make him not such a nice person. Again, these gray lines, right, of certain things, right? Was it wrong for him to do what he did just because he wanted to pursue his passion, and B, something that he happened to be, like his mutation happened to be, lend itself
Good.
to,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The thing that the 90s cartoons and the early 2000s cartoons on Fox and WB and all of them, a lot of them did. X-Men, Gargoyles, Batman the animated series, the Justice League, stuff like that. They were able to dive into these characters and do these really awesome, serious storylines, and they gave nuance to the good and bad guys idea way earlier in this section of entertainment than anything else did.
Mm-hmm.
The lines being blurred and gray, and like the good guys aren't always the good guys and the bad guys aren't always the bad guys, and maybe the bad guys aren't so bad. And
Right. And I mean, even like when he's talking about this, it's like, he just wanted to have the freedom to do what he wanted to do. He wanted to invent, he wanted to create.
were
And
you a
yes, that's
fan of
right.
Gargoyles?
I loved
Oh,
gargoyles.
okay.
I did like gargoyles a lot.
They were scared. Rapunzel was scared.
No, sorry, I was reading the lines about how he was telling Storm she's a goddess, because period. But no, I loved gargoyles. Gone too soon. We should have had more seasons.
I hope they bring it back.
That would be a good remake, actually.
Yeah. I would love to see that in live action. It would be too tough though. It would end up being cheesy, I feel like.
It just
I
depends on
love
who's
this
going
ending
now.
sequence too.
Yes.
I don't think it makes me think of the Super Nintendo game, but I don't think like there was ever a screen like this. It might just be the colors, but I really like it a lot. I like the ending sequence. It makes me think of like the 90s video games. Anyway, I'm going to stop the watch party. If you're in the watch party, it may continue playing for you guys. Feel free to continue watching if you want, but we still have a little bit of show left here to do too. They, like, you could tell it's on a streaming and not on Fox, because it's a little bit more violent. It's they dive into the stories a little bit deeper, but it's not like they dialed it way up. Like, it's still a kid's cartoon, while at the same time still being really entertaining. Like, I think the writing and the voice acting and how well it's executed is really what is been keeping me going in it. Like, I mean, I actually wanted to like really know what happened and see where they were going with the things. I didn't just make assumptions and be like, all right, let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's good. And I think they planned on multiple seasons of this. I don't know what's going to happen because, I'm sure the Beau DeMayo is no longer, and he's not coming back.
No.
So I hope that whoever is there, I hope there's some people that were working with him that have enough of his ideas, because that part, like, he did a damn good job with this.
Yeah.
I just have to be, why do you have to be a creep, bro?
I know,
so easy
man.
not to be a creep.
Fucking dudes are creeps, man. I don't know
but
what it is.
I don't. Or just you can keep the creep, like, just tape it down.
Yeah.
Tape it down.
I don't understand. Like, you literally got a golden ticket. Like, and like, as a young, guy, like, he said he grew up with the X-Men. Like, you gotta be, how dumb and narcissistic do you gotta be to think that you're gonna get away with shit and not care to, like, endanger the shit that, forget it. It's just, it drives me crazy. People just drive me crazy. The lack of empathy and the lack of self-awareness just drives me insane.
I feel like that's the gift that, our generation has, is that our formative years were not on the internet.
Yeah.
Because I do think we have, and I see this when I talk to Gen Zs a lot. I'm like, they have a harder time with that line of virtual and real because they've grown up with it being, kind of in tandem their whole
Yeah.
lives. And for most of us in our age group, we were offline for most of our formative years, if not all
Yeah.
of them.
Till
So
high school.
yeah, for the most part, well, it became global, right?
Yeah.
So we have a more tangible idea of, whoa, like that's going to be out there
Yeah.
forever. It's not just this momentary thing, but
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I do hope anyways if they do continue those season, I'm hoping whoever picks up can keep the ball rolling, because this is a good
Same.
series. This is such a fun series.
And since they're doing this whole multiverse thing with the idea of like everything is canon, because it's either a part of the storyline that we haven't seen yet or another universe where
Yeah.
whatever's happening is what's happening. So they could easily, use the X-Men cartoon as a way to introduce characters and things like that may pop up in future movies. I don't know. It's got to be cheaper to make that cartoon than it is to make other movies, and it did so well. Why not just keep making it? But yeah, who
I
knows?
still want a movie though.
Yeah, it would be nice. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get the map. Do we have the map of what's kind of sort of coming for the next few years? Maybe, right?
Yeah, and they've already changed it once since they redid it after they've cut out a couple of movies from when they made the big announcement when they announced RDJ as Doctor Doom. Yeah, which I don't. Yeah. I'm hoping that it's a red herring, and we're gonna find out that he's just like he's only Doctor Doom for like half an hour in the movie, and then like the real Doctor Doom shows up and kills him or something. Like that's what I'm hoping happens.
Yeah, kind of like Mandarin, right?
Yeah. And I hope they fix that too with the where's fucking the Shang-Chi stuff? That was
He's
awesome.
coming. He's going to be in Spider-Man, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's
hoping
true,
that's
right,
going to be a
I forgot about that.
segue into something else.
I loved.
We'll see. I love Shang-Chi.
What's his name? He was in Kim's Convenience. I loved
Simu
Liu. Yeah, I fucking loved him, man.
He
and
did
that
a good
movie
job.
was a ton of fun too.
Underrated, I feel like. I think the timing of it kind of threw things off a bit, but because COVID kind of coincided. But he did a great job. I think it was a good movie, a lot of fun. I haven't seen anyone who's watched it didn't like it, so I do hope we get another one. I'm not sure, because I honestly, that's the first I'd heard of his character. I'm not gonna lie. So
he is a little bit of a niche character.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how much they can build on that. So much, because my one little gripe with Marvel is that I love that they are trying to be more all-encompassing and be more diverse, because that was one of the big things that people have rightly been like, can we get some more other superheroes? Like, don't be like DC and just keep regurgitating 3 superhero movies. Like, but it's like, but also kind of build it out. Don't just randomly like Shang-Chi because we haven't done a Chinese one yet.
Yeah.
You can find there's quite a few of different ethnicities and backgrounds and all those kind of things. Just find something that makes sense. Don't just pluck one out and then be like, I don't know what to do with this now that we did it. Right?
Like, just putting this out there. There could be a universe where Michael B. Jordan was the Black Panther and was actually good, and his universe collapses, and then we just have Michael B. Jordan as Black Panther, and I would accept that as well.
Exactly, Aaron. Do them intentionally. Like, it just don't. I think sometimes when
not a caricature, like make an intentional character and give them a whole story and make them important and have them come back.
And what makes sense, right? Like so being somebody who did not grow up seeing a lot of people like me, I'm like, it's not that of course I want more stories, but give me ones that make sense, right? I don't want you to just do it as the here damn, right? Like kind of version. Like, give me something that makes sense. Like, that's why I love like the Black Panther, that there's a lot of fodder there. I think they did a good job bringing in, why did the director's name just slip out of my head? But
Coogler.
Yeah, Coogler, it was a fantastic choice because he's very good at storytelling and actually looking at an arc of a story. So yeah, seriously, have him direct everything, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, like be intentional about it. But yeah, the Marvel's got a big repertoire So, find things, see if it makes sense with your overall universe. I mean, Feige said he finally got some help because he was doing that all on his own.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, bring in some help and then, yeah, get some people to start mining through how long has Marvel been around? 5 decades?
Yeah, since the 60s.
Yeah. So I'm like, just get some people in there, find some characters, see what they can do to intertwine. You've got 2 universes now. You got cinematic, you got TV. You can make this work.
Mm-hmm. They one of the things that I really liked to hear James Gunn say about the new DCU was that tonally they're not going to, like, where the Marvel movies are all very similarly toned. Like if you watch the Spider-Man movies and the Iron Man movies and even Black Panther, they have a very similar tone to them, and they're all essentially action dramas. James Gunn said they're not doing that with the DC movies. Like they're going to be completely different genres, completely different tonal movies. Like they're making a movie right now that he said is going to be a body horror rated R movie, but it's going to be in the DCU. And he said he wants to do the movies. He wants to, like, basically I'm adding in, he wants to take it a step up from the way Marvel did it. But, where Marvel did a good job building out the stories over all of these movies and making them engaging and want to keep watching, and making all the movies interconnected, he wants to take it to the next level where he wants to do that, but he also wants to make each individual movie okay to watch by itself, where someone can come into it, watch this movie, and not feel like they're missing 10,000 things because they didn't watch, 5 other movies and stuff.
Yeah,
like that. So
I get that. And I think that's where Marvel will probably get at some point. The hard part is once you get something that works, these old oligarchs hate moving. Okay, they hate getting out of them ruts they've dug so deep. So that's the hard part. Is like, Feige proved that, okay, this is a money making formula. Now you have to fight them to death to be like, it's okay for us to move out of these ruts and make a new path. Yeah. But Marvel did cut that path though, saying, hey, we're gonna stop making superhero movies cheesy, because DC, with all due respect, 70s Superman, have you seen those movies? Love Christopher Reeve, but cheesy as hell.
Oh yeah,
right.
The
Batman
man threw a cellophane S on dude for some reason, and I don't like. It's gonna be with me to the day I die. Like, where did that come from?
Superman 3 will always be my favorite because Richard Pryor stole that whole movie.
Oh my god, yes he did. Richard Pryor. Fucking watching him talk about that movie too is unhinged. That man is hilarious.
I'm sure he was high the entire time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just side story. I don't know if people are ever gonna. If you ever do watch this movie, there's literally my favorite part of the movie. It's so random. Is that Richard Pryor's character? He shows up in this Western town that's clearly very white. Like there's nobody who looks like him, but he's got to go there for work. Anyway, he gets out and he's looking around, clearly scared. And he's like walking, and some guy walks by with a big cowboy hat and like hits him in the shoulder. And the look he has in his face, like he looks and he's just like, he holds that face for like 5 minutes. And I swear it was improv. And I don't know if you ever watch the movie, it's the funniest, most out of place thing. It's such a Richard Pryor thing, but the whole movie's like that. Just movies where moments where I'm sure they're just like, that wasn't in the script, but keep it because Richard has it. But anyways, yes, Marvel walked so that DC now, hopefully, with James Gunn's pushing, can start to walk and run a little bit with some of this. And I do hope that they can, because I think they're trying to do that, right? The first one was like all introductory, get us out of the cheesy zone.
Yeah.
Phase 2 to me was like, now we can tell emotional stories as well and talk about things like trauma and the cleanup after these disasters like the Battle of New York happens and all this kind of stuff. And then
how
maybe
it affects real people.
Exactly. And then maybe phase 3 is like, what James Gunn is talking about. They can attempt to do more of the, let's go completely sideways with a genre, or just do a standalone that's really just for the sake of, I feel like they're kind of doing that with the TV stuff.
Yeah.
A
little bit. Yeah.
Or testing the waters.
Yeah, they are a little bit with that, especially with this new season of Peacemaker. No spoilers or anything, but they're touching on that whole idea a little bit in that, and I think it's going to come into play more. And the things that they're doing that I hope they're setting up, I think they're going to do it in a fun way. I think they're going to do the whole idea of multiversal things and things like that, but I think they're going to do it in a way that's not self, like not taking itself too seriously. because
Okay.
it seems like, especially with the new DCU, they're leaning into the shtick and like the fun of like making superhero stuff and like the idea of like the old school superhero guys. Superman's very corny and like good and like, bright and happy, and he's still cracking jokes and stuff in that moment. It watches the new Superman movie watches like a Superman the animated TV series episode from the 90s, but it's 2 hours long, and it was great. And I hope the Marvel goes into that direction too with their stuff.
With certain characters,
With
anyways,
stories,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like that's me. That's Peter Parker, right? Peter Parker's not a heavy character. He's been through heavy stuff, but yeah, he's a Disney version of.
I'm fine with them being heavy and stuff. I just want them to have better stories and make better, not take themselves too seriously and get these crunchy, crazy storylines that they were kind of getting toward with some of the stuff. Like I loved Love and Thunder. There was a lot of fun scenes in it, but starting to go to like the big level things like the Beyonder or whatever, and like a lot of those characters and like the power at the end of the universe that they were seeking out in that. It was getting a little crunchy for me.
Gotcha. Just let Wesley Snipes direct Blade. That's all I ask.
Oh God, I'm so happy that the Mahershala Ali Blade isn't canceled. Like it was they came out and were like, don't worry, it's not canceled. Like it's like we're still making it.
Yes.
Like I'm glad they did that, because I'm if anyone can pull off stepping into the shoes of Blade after Wesley Snipes, it might be Mahershala Ali.
I think so. And I'm glad that also he put his foot down to whatever they presented, because it wasn't doing what he thought it should do.
Apparently.
Yeah. So good for him on that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hate waiting, but I would have hated if they came out and completely just, stained what was a very good legacy that Wesley pretty much did on his own.
Yeah. The I think one thing that studios are starting to realize is that audiences are more understanding and forgiving than they realize. And if you tell us that you're delaying something because you don't think it's up to snuff and you want to fix it, for the most part, I think most of the viewers and audience people will understand. Like that's like I never understand that, especially when it comes to video games. As a gamer, also, like tell me the game isn't ready yet, delay it for 6 months, and finish the fucking game. Like just be honest. Just tell us the game's not ready. It's not where we want it. It's not to the quality that we want to give it to you. So we're gonna delay and we're gonna fix it, and then we're gonna release it at this point.
Yep.
Your followers and your audience and your consumer will understand, and for the most part, I think people will be okay with it.
I say that. I mean, I agree with you, but I also feel like we got to remember what generation we're from. We're from the generation where we're used to waiting like 5 years for a game.
That's fair.
These days, people are the instant gratification. The TikTok generation is a little different. I think they're trying to cater.
Delivery.
Yes, it's like, why is it not now? And it's like, you don't remember back in the day, we had to wait 5 years for a game, like that was standard.
Yeah. They also advertise shit. Wait, and this is for everything. Like, 5 years for a book.
For a book, yeah.
Or in George R.R. Martin's case, we're on year 16 now, I think, or in year 16.
I've given up.
Nearing 17.
I've given up. We're not getting it while he's alive.
A long time ago. Yeah, I'm not reading. I won't read another book, even if he writes it at this point.
I kind of need to, because they did brain me bad in the show, so I gotta see if he fixes it.
Yeah, that's fair. They did fuck up. That ending was so bad.
Don't get me started. Like that didn't happen.
I won't. Okay,
the show still happened.
Speaking of endings, usually at the end of the show we do our interview. You have done the interview before, but two of the questions that we do in the interview, which I've started doing this now with our guests, because we've started getting repeat guests now that have done the interview, now that we've been doing the interview for a couple of shows now. So two of the questions are who would make a good roommate and who would make a bad roommate. And I usually theme them for the show we're watching. So you did it when we were watching Andor, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So now I'm going to ask you the same two questions: who would make the best roommate and who would make the worst roommate, but out of X-Men 97.
Good roommate would probably be trying to think. Probably Scott. Scott seems to me like he's probably very regimented, very clean. You know, if you set up a schedule, he'd follow it, wouldn't touch your stuff, you know, because he's a square. Like
Yeah.
he's the kind of
I feel
roommate that
like
you would.
depending on if you like it or not, he would definitely have like a chore chart.
It's true. But I'd
And
rather
he'd
that
be
something
like,
gets done than live with
that's
somebody. I
fair.
can't handle dirty for myself.
Me
So
either.
So that's why I think he'd be a good roommate. Boring, but at least he's dependable, and you know he's probably not gonna like take your milk. Like he'll label stuff in the fridge, and like he
Yeah.
won't drink your special almond milk or whatever.
All I could think when I see Scott Summers is white bread. That's all I could think is just Wonder Bread. Is that is he is the
Definition.
Wonder Bread of X-Men. That is who he is.
So true. He seems like he'd be annoying. He might be, but I could ignore that. Again, if he's clean, I can deal with almost anything else. Just
He's
the one thing
definitely
I
clean. I
can't.
feel like he's definitely clean. I feel like
Yeah,
he's definitely clean.
borderline like OCD clean. I feel like
Yeah,
that
I could
that'd
see
be
that.
him,
I definitely
and I'm
see
okay with that. Worst roommate, Morph. Like he'd just be,
that.
you'd walk
God.
in, he'd be like creeping, he'd be hiding in your bedroom to like jump
Yeah.
out and scare you and stuff.
You
Like
never know if Morph isn't in the room with you. You would never know if the person you're talking to, because he fucks with people all the time.
Exactly.
So like, oh, hey, mom, dad, thanks for, or hey, mom or dad, thank you for coming over for a visit. Oh, nope, just Morph fucking with you. Like,
Exactly. Pretending to be your landlord, evicting you or something. Like I don't
Yeah.
even know. Like you'd never know peace with Morph as a roommate.
nope, you are that. You would never know peace with Morph as a roommate. That's a good quote. Yeah, you are 100% correct. That would be terrible. So before we hop off, that was close. So I have magnets on this so that I don't put holes in all my shirts. But one time I got them a little too close together when they were a little lower on my shirt, and they totally squished my fucking nipple together. And they're neodymium magnets, so they're pretty strong. It was terrible. And oh, yes, it was on camera. I don't remember what show. I think I was on with the puppets. Have you met the Leafcast guys yet?
I don't think so. No.
No. There's my puppet form of myself right back here.
Ah,
chilling in the background.
nice.
Puppet Tom. They have a first time reader show, the Leafcast, over on also on YouTube, where they're just now in the 12th in the 14th book of the Wheel of Time. Yeah,
Nice.
currently I'm Flesh Tom. That is what they call this version. That's what they call this version of Tom. And then there's Felt
Gotcha.
Tom back there.
Nice. Very Muppety. I love it.
Yeah, they have fun. But anyway, what are you doing with yourself next? What show are you watching now? Where should what can everyone see from you next?
Well, I'm finishing up. Like I said, I was kind of I said to you, but yeah, I was traveling for a bit, so I was so backed up on some of my stuff. So I'm catching up, getting those shows done. Then I'm going to be doing a couple of movies. Sinners is number one on that list. So
if you
yes.
need a guest for that or want a guest for that, I am down.
Good
I
to
love
know.
that fucking movie.
Love that. So yes, I'm going to be doing that. Also Superman is on there because apparently it's already on digital release. Like, geez,
Yep.
you just breathe in these things already, but that's good. So yeah, a couple movies coming up. And then by the time I think I get those out, then we're going to get very close to Gen V. Season 2 is coming out right away too next month. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
I'm excited to that, but it makes me so sad. What's his face?
Oh, because of Chance.
Yeah, Chance, man. He was I loved him.
He was such a good actor, so much
Yeah.
promise. Like the trajectory was going like this for that kid, and
Yeah.
life, man.
Yeah, sucks.
Life,
Rip.
man. And I think it's going to be rough. That first episode, however they choose to address it, I think is going to be rough. But
Yeah. I'm sure they'll give like a nice remembrance thing.
And apparently the guy who plays his dad, I always remember him from Save the Last Dance. But yeah, he looks like he's going to be a pretty big part of this season. So I'm interested to see how they're maybe going to tie, real life into that maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it regardless, though, because The Boys is one of my guilty pleasure shows. I like it, but I'm like, I really shouldn't like this.
Me too. It's because Kripke wrote it. Probably. I love Supernatural, and like it is satirizing the right things to be satirizing, and he does it in a way that is still pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a little too, it gets a little too crazy at some point, but with a couple of things, and a little gory and a little too much, but
yeah, like the writing, all that is great. I think it's just the inventive ways they come up with some. I'm like, who walks into the writer's room and is like, so this guy's going to shrink to this big and he's going to walk inside it. Like, who?
Yep. And this guy is going to have sex with an octopus on screen, on the camera. Like, we're not going to just say that he had sex with the octopus. He's going to do it on the camera so we could see it.
But honestly, kudos to everybody. Like, what's his name? Chase, the guy who plays that kid. Like, you got to give, because how do you get through those scenes?
I would, you know who I wouldn't want to be in that moment? The intimacy coordinator on that set.
No real live octopuses were used.
Yeah. No octopuses were hurt in the no cephalopods were hurt in the filming of this TV show.
Yeah, good times. But yeah, that's basically what's up for me. A couple of movies, and then Gen V is probably the next big show I'll be on to. Probably gonna pull up another. We'll see what's coming up. But yeah, I'm trying not to do too much at once because the editing is a lot. So I try to make sure I'm not gonna be too overwhelmed. But yeah, Sinners is gonna be the next thing though.
Exciting. What's next for us is next week is Labor Day. So we're going to be taking that week off of our regular rewatch stream so people can go and, see their families and do things and do all the holiday stuff to if you celebrate. Oh, and I forgot I grabbed this picture when you mentioned Superman 3 earlier, because I was like, isn't the cover art for the poster of Superman 3 him carrying like a screaming Richard Pryor? And yes, it is, and it's fantastic. And I just
such a good movie, guys. It's cheesy as, but worth the watch because Richard Pryor steals every scene he's in.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. It's good and terrible. For my friends, for our friends who also quote Coming to America daily is good and terrible. Good and terrible. That boy good. He good.
When you think of garbage, think of Akeem.
Where is Akeem? We had a first time reader that used to come and chat every now and then. His name was Akeem, and then he would like, I understand that reference, but I am too young to have to care. Yeah. And I was like, I don't like you anymore, Akeem.
Yeah, a lot of people weren't even alive when that movie came out, unfortunately, who were probably here. But that was such a good movie. Can't make it today, but it was fun.
No, definitely not. But when we come back, we will be hanging out with Joe O'Hara Plus. Now, if you're watching us right now, you know Twatcast probably and who Joe O'Hara is. But for your sake, so Twatcast is the oldest, longest running Wheel of Time podcast. I think they're at like 16 years this year. And they're Joe and Jono and Tom are good friends. But Joe also does a comics podcast, which a lot of the Wheel of Time fans don't know about. So he may be joining us with one of his other co-hosts on that show. He's got several co-hosts that he does that with, and also someone who's hugely into Marvel and comic books for another show he does where they talk about old toys. It could be him that's also joining us. So I don't know who is going to join us with Joe yet. It's going to be one of his non-Wheel of Time content creator friends that he does stuff with, but it's I'm looking forward to that. And returning Christina Gruhl, who is an author and also a dear friend. She's a lovely human. She'll be with us when we come back on September 8th as well. So again, we're taking next week off. I may still pop on, like maybe in our Discord or something, and hang out and maybe stream something and just hang out with everybody after, barbecues have been had and things. But we're not going to do our normal rewatch for next week. With that, I think that's all I have. And this is when I would say a certain line, but we'll see how this goes. You have your name in your thing. I was going to say, do you use your given. Then I remembered your YouTube channel is just your name. So
Yeah, it's just my name.
yeah, I'm always so as working for Jordan. I worked for JordanCon for a number of years doing guest services, and we would have all the authors and things like that as they were the people that I dealt with, and I would see their real names and their pen names, and we were very careful to make sure that we had them separate and things like that. So I always have that in my head because we had an issue once. Someone in another department, it was not me, used someone's legal name and they have a stalker and it was a whole thing and it was not good. So I'm very conscious of it now.
Understandable.
Well,
But yeah, it's just me.
Yes, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe, make
Show
sure
love.
to go over to our friend here's channel and click on all the little things and subscribes and the notification bells and all that stuff. I will share the link in chat again, and I think I have it in the description of the video as well. Just go and spread the love around. I love all of you awesome nerds. Say goodnight, Crystal. Good night, Crystal.